Anchor him to the life you both want, not just the moment you are sharing. Because the truth is, what happens between you two in those vulnerable minutes doesn't just stay there. It creates echoes in his mind, memories that he carries into his mornings, into his days, into his quiet moments when no one else is around. And if those memories are filled with your voice, your touch, your words that connect not only to his body, but to his heart and his future, then you become the center of his thoughts. He starts linking his desire for you with the vision of forever, and once that seed is planted, it grows on its own. Think about it. Men are simple in some ways and complicated in others. They can enjoy pleasure, they can get distracted by beauty, but the deeper truth is that they crave meaning. They might not say it out loud. They might not even fully realize it themselves. But every man, no matter how tough or confident he seems, wants to belong to something bigger than the physical act. He wants to feel like the passion he shares with you has weight, has significance, has the promise of more. And when you are the one who gives him that feeling, he doesn't just want your body. He wants your presence, your energy, your forever. Now let's go even deeper into his mind. When a man is inside you, when his walls are lowered, his ego is stripped away and what remains is raw. That's when he is most open to being imprinted. Your words, your tone, your whispers become part of that memory. He doesn't just hear them, he feels them. They wrap around him like invisible threads tying him to you. And those threads, once woven, are not easily broken. That's how addiction begins, not to the act, not to the body, but to the feeling that only you provide. And let's not pretend here. Plenty of women can be attractive, plenty can be good in bed. But how many can make a man feel irreplaceable? How many can silence the quiet doubt he carries that he is just one of many? That's where your true power lies. When you tell him, in those breathless moments, "I love that it's you," or "No one else makes me feel like this," you aren't just stroking his ego. You are erasing his deepest insecurity, the fear that he's disposable. You are telling him that out of all the possibilities in the world, it's him you want, it's him you crave, it's him you choose. That's the kind of truth that bonds him to you long after the sheets are cold. And here's another thing. Men live in a world that rarely praises them. They walk through life carrying responsibilities, pressures, expectations, but very little recognition for who they are as men. Society doesn't stop to say, "I see you, I admire you, I appreciate you," but you can. And when you do it not just outside the bedroom, but especially when he is closest to you, it hits him harder than you realize. A soft whisper like, "I feel safe with you," or "I love your strength," carries more weight than hours of physical passion. Because it tells him he's not only turning you on, he's fulfilling something deeper. You see him as your protector, your man, your safe place. And when a man feels that, he locks onto you with everything he has. But remember, it has to be real. Men can feel fake flattery. They can sense when words are forced or rehearsed. The secret is not to memorize lines, but to stay connected to what you truly feel in that moment. Maybe it's the way he's holding you, the way he looks into your eyes, the way his body wraps around yours. Whatever it is that makes your heart swell, name it, speak it. That truth, simple and raw, will land deeper than any performance ever could. Because intimacy isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about the little things you say and do that remind him you are not just sharing your body, you're sharing yourself. And once he feels that, he doesn't just want to be with you physically. He wants to stay near you emotionally. He starts craving not only your touch, but your words, your admiration, your love. Now, Let's talk about something most people overlook. A man may chase pleasure, but what he truly stays for is connection. Pleasure fades. The rush of attraction eventually quiets down. But connection, that sense that you see him, choose him, admire him, and want him for more than just what he does in bed, that's what lasts. That's what makes him wake up thinking of you, go to bed dreaming of you, and ignore every other option because in his mind, he already has everything he could ever want in you. And this is where you become unforgettable. Not because you're the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, not because you did something wild or shocking in bed, but because you made him feel like the only man who can give you what you crave. You gave him significance. You gave him certainty. You gave him a vision of the future where he's not just your lover, but your partner, your hero, your one. That's why he can't let go. That's why he becomes addicted. So, in those private moments, don't underestimate your power. Don't treat sex like just an act. Treat it like your language. Use it to speak not just to his body, but to his soul. Whisper the words that make him feel chosen, admired, loved, and essential. Because when you do, you are no longer just another woman in his life. You are the woman, the only one who makes him feel whole. And once a man feels that, no other woman can compete. And ladies, let me remind you, this isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricking him or playing games. It's about opening yourself, being honest, and giving voice to the feelings you already have, but maybe never thought to say out loud. Men don't remember every touch, but they never forget how you made them feel. And when you make him feel like the only one, you've given him something priceless. So the next time you're together, lean in close, let your voice be soft but certain, and give him those words that tie his body, his heart, and his future to you. Because in that moment, you're not just making love. You're creating memory. You're building attachment. You're making him yours in a way no one else ever could. And think about this for a moment. When he closes his eyes after everything, when he lies there with you in the silence, do you know what he remembers most? Not the movement, not the rhythm, not the technical details. What stays in his mind is the feeling. The way you touched his face, the way you breathed his name, the way your body wrapped around him like you never wanted to let go. Those are the things that burn into memory. And when he thinks back to you later, that's what he replays. That's what makes him crave more. Because here's the truth most people miss. Men don't fall in love with the act. They fall in love with the meaning behind it. He can be with anyone, but not everyone makes him feel chosen. Not everyone makes him feel like the only one who matters. That is the difference between a woman who is simply there and a woman who becomes unforgettable. You don't just share the moment. You transform it into something he carries inside of him. Something he cannot replace. Something he doesn't even want to risk losing. And let me tell you something powerful. When a man starts to link his deepest pleasure with your voice, your presence, your words, you become the source of not just his release but his peace. And peace for a man is rarer than desire. Desire is everywhere. But peace, real comfort, the feeling of being safe and loved and admired, that is priceless. And if he feels that with you, he will protect it, he will fight for it, he will build around it. Because men protect what feels like home, and you become that home. But notice something important. This doesn't come from big speeches or complicated gestures. It comes from the little things. The soft way you say his name. The way you look at him when he's most vulnerable. The way you let him know, without even trying too hard, that he is your man and no one else could ever take that place. Those little things become the biggest things in his heart. He might not even be able to explain it if someone asked him, but he will feel it every time he looks at you. Now, think about the way men move through the world. They fight battles you don't always see. They feel pressures they never put into words. They carry doubts they never admit. And while they may look strong on the outside, inside they are searching for a place to rest. And when you become that place, not just through comfort, but through passion, you give him the one thing he cannot find anywhere else. That's why he keeps coming back. That's why he chooses you over and over again, even when the world is full of distractions. And here's another secret most never talk about. When you love a man in those raw, unfiltered moments, you are not just giving him pleasure, you are teaching him something about himself. You are showing him that he is enough. You are reflecting back his strength, his tenderness, his worth. And once he experiences that with you, it's not just that he wants you. It's that he needs you, because no one else can make him feel that way about himself. So when you whisper to him, when you breathe into his ear that you love how he makes you feel, or that you never want to lose this, you're not just speaking into the air. You are planting truths into his heart. Truths that will replay when he's at work, when he's alone, when he's tempted, when he's unsure. Your words become the voice in his mind, the anchor in his storms, the comfort in his doubts. That's how powerful you are in those moments. That's why you cannot take them lightly. And remember this, beauty might get his attention, but presence gets his devotion. Curves might excite him, but certainty keeps him. A good night might impress him, but a good woman imprints him. And once he's imprinted, once he associates you with not just desire, but destiny, he will never be able to see anyone else the same way, because no one else will ever feel like home the way you do. So, when you're there with him, don't hold back. Don't just give him your body. Give him your truth. Tell him what makes you melt, what makes you feel alive, what makes you grateful it's him and no one else. Because those words, wrapped in passion, become eternal. They stay long after the night ends, long after the fire cools, long after the moment passes. And that's how you move from being someone he was with to someone he will never let go of. Because at the end of it all, intimacy is not about the act. It's about the memory, the bond, the connection that lingers. And once you master that, once you use those moments not just to share your body, but to shape his heart, you'll realize you have a power no other woman can match. You don't just touch his skin, you touch his soul. And when a man's soul is touched, he belongs to you in ways he can't even explain. And maybe you've noticed this already. When a man feels something deeper with you, his whole energy shifts. He doesn't just touch you like someone he wants for the night. He holds you like someone he wants for his life. His eyes soften, his body relaxes, and in that silence afterward, he's not just resting, he's memorizing. He's storing the moment somewhere inside, because he knows he hasn't just experienced pleasure, he's experienced connection. And connection is what he secretly craves more than anything else. This is why, if you've ever wondered why some men never forget certain women, it's not because those women were perfect or the most beautiful. It's because those women understood something unspoken. They didn't just let passion pass them by. They turned it into something lasting. They made him feel seen in a way no one else did. And once a man feels that, no amount of time or distance erases it. She becomes the one he compares all others to, the one who lingers in his heart even when life has moved on. So what does this mean for you? It means you have more power than you might realize. You are not just along for the ride. You are shaping the memory, guiding the bond, deciding what imprint you leave behind. And if you choose to fill those moments with truth, with words that tell him he's special, with touches that tell him he's enough, then you're not just giving yourself to him. You're giving him a reason to hold on to you forever. And I want you to picture this. Imagine him walking through his day, surrounded by noise, stress, and people pulling at him. But in the middle of it, he hears your voice in his head, reminding him of what you whispered when you were closest. That thought alone calms him, grounds him, pulls him back to you. You become his anchor, his safe thought, his sweetest memory. And that is why no matter how far he goes, he always returns. Because you didn't just touch his body, you touched his mind and his spirit. Now let's talk about temptation. The world is full of it. Men see beauty everywhere, on screens, on streets, in passing moments. But do you know why temptation loses its power once a man is truly bonded? Because beauty alone doesn't compete with connection. A pretty face might turn his head, but it won't steal his soul. Once he's linked intimacy with your love, your voice, your touch, nothing else satisfies him the same way. It's like his heart has chosen its home, and nothing else feels right anymore. But here's the truth. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you decide to be present in those moments. When you decide to whisper instead of staying silent, to express instead of holding back, to love instead of just moving through the act. It happens when you understand that the time after passion is just as important as the act itself. Because that's when he's most open, most reflective, most ready to receive what you want him to feel. So don't let that time slip away. Hold him. Look into his eyes. Run your fingers across his skin and say what you truly feel. Simple words, spoken with honesty, carry more power than you think. I love how you make me feel safe. I never want anyone else. It's always you. Words like these don't just end the night. They begin forever. And don't underestimate silence either. Sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you stay with him. The quiet after, the steady breath, the way you don't rush, the way you let him know by your presence that you're not going anywhere. That too becomes part of the memory. That too tells him he's found something rare, something worth holding onto with both hands. Because men, even strong men, even proud men, are searching for someone who will choose them again and again, not just for what they do, but for who they are. And when you give him that certainty in your arms, he doesn't just want you. He commits to you in his heart. He starts planning his life around keeping you, because losing you would mean losing the one place he feels truly alive. And that, my dear, is where your strength lies. Not in trying to be more beautiful, not in competing with others, not in chasing or proving. Your power is in how you make him feel when he is with you. If he feels chosen, admired, loved, and safe, then you are already unforgettable. You are already the one he will never replace. So let every moment with him, especially those intimate ones, be more than just a passing spark. Make it a flame he carries with him, one that no wind can blow out. Because once a man's heart connects with yours in that way, you don't just have his desire. You have his devotion, his loyalty, his forever.